It's with Dr. Vivek Rana. So in this series, we are targeting UPSC Prelims 2025 probable themes. So topic for today's discussion is from space sector. And we have seen over the years that whenever any space milestone is in news, there is every probability that that theme might be asked in some form or the other in prelims or mains examination. So in 2024, the final project of ISRO is going to be a major success story because it's something novel in its, you could say, concept. So we'll be decoding today Proba-3 mission, which is making headlines today itself because today at 4 p.m. this mission was scheduled to be launched. So first of all, like in any other space current affair, the basic parameters of noting a current affairs remain more or less the same. So first of all, you have to focus on the mission nomenclature. So you can see this is quite an unconventional name for a ISRO mission. It has been titled Proba-3 because generally when we see the mission in which India is directly engaged in, they typically end with Yan word. It could be Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, or Gaganyaan for matter of fact. But generally, when there are collaborative projects, we tend to divert from that conventional nomenclature because in this mission, we are collaborated with European Space Agency. So it's a point of a space diplomatic effort of all sorts as well. So coming to the back to the acronym word. So in this, you have to break the word into three parts. It is an acronym for project. PR stands for project, or OB stands for on board, and A stands for autonomy. So it's a project for on-board autonomy, that's in short. Otherwise, in literal sense, this proba word is a Latin word which means let's try. So quite a positive word to name a mission because we have already seen a lot of missions being derived from Roman or Greek mythology at times. So in this case, it's a motivational word to start with. At least we should try. So what exactly is this mission trying novel holds the crux of the current affairs? Now, first thing that you have to understand, apart from the conventional nomenclature which we have just recorded, formally all such missions have to be noted down in an organic fashion in which we are following a series. Generally, the name of the launch vehicle ending with a particular number is what is the official description of such project. So we have already seen that ISRO has launched almost PSLV-58 mission, which roughly translates to 60 successful missions. So in this case, the official name of the mission is going to be PSLVC-59 mission, and it's going to be another jewel to the long testimony of the launch vehicle, which goes by popular name of Polar Satellite Launch. And coming to the launch site part, the launch site in this case is no exception. India's most used port, the first ever port ever built, it's none other than Sriharikota, which is commonly called SHAR, Sriharikota High Altitude Range, which also goes by name of Satish Dhawan Space Center. So this center is situated in the Andhra Pradesh. So make sure this, if you have been a regular student, this should not come as a surprise. India launches almost 99% of its missions of the space. And coming to the launch vehicle, just we have mentioned, there are typically three launch vehicles which are currently every time seen in news. Either the missions are sent by PSLV, sometimes GSLV, and of late the SSLV mission is also gaining headlines. So in this case, as the name suggests, it is the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. The only modification is that this time they have launched a modified version XL, which is represents the extra large version. So typically you can, in the launch vehicle category, you can name, and as a UPSC student, you should ideally go through the typical stages which a PSLV constitute. It consists of 4 stages: first solid, second liquid, third solid, one final stage liquid, so that it can correctly place the orbit in stipulated orbit. So there's no harm in going through the makeup and what are the advantages of a PSLV over GSL. Then coming to the number of satellites, the both satellites are new name. There are, we can say, number of satellites remain the 2 in this specific mission. The one is named after the objective chronograph, and the second is occult. convenience sake, I have just mentioned the specific name of satellites which are in operation, for the first term itself is the major objective of the mission. So when you go into the specific part, the objective of this Proba-3 mission is to study the corona layer. So if you're a geography student or a space module student, you can easily associate that what exactly it might be trying to do. So the corona word represents the outermost layer of the sun, which has its own, which has been a long sought mystery in astrophysics, and this mission is an attempt to demystify the dynamic nature of coronal mass ejections. So this objective is nothing new, because already we have seen few months back we had sent Aditya L1 mission, which was placed in Lagrange point, and it attempted to continuously monitor the outer layer of corona, because we have seen the sun has 7 different layers. The inner layer goes by the name of core zone, reflection zone, radiation zone, but the outermost layer, which is visible part, is referred as the chromosphere and the photosphere, and there is a transition zone, and then the part which is only seen during eclipse goes by the name of corona. So why scientists want to decode corona is because generally, if you assume when we go from surface to deep layer, temperature should ideally increase. So when they measured the photosphere layer, the temperature in outermost layer of the sun was roughly 6000 Kelvin. But when they are studying corona, it goes to billions of Kelvin. So this unusual trend, that what makes the corona layer extremely hot is holds the main objective of the mission. What is the impact of coronal mass ejections on Earth? What are the solar flare, aurora? So basically, this is a topic which is related to scientific endeavors in which we are trying to demystify the happenings around the sun. So you can say the objective is quite relevant. Apart from it, the uniqueness of this mission lies in that this mission attempted for a precise formation in outer space with the two satellites. So basically, those two satellites which will be placed in an elliptical orbit, and they'll be synchronized to specifically focus on corona. So this is something which has not done earlier, because generally, even though there have been lot of missions in which we place satellites in multiple orbit, but this kind, the two satellites will work in tandem and try to focus on single objective. So this makes it the first ever precise positioning mission in the world, and that's why they have named precision on board autonomy. So a lot given, and the symbolic meaning let's try also, so that they are trying to do this in outer space. So we can say it's quite a technical mission, and this achievement should never be underestimated. It is going to be counted among ISRO's milestone of fame. Then coming to the final part, that this mission, apart from being a success story, will be remembered for a joint collaboration, because this is one of the missions in which we have coordinated with the powerhouse European Space Agency, and from Indian side the commercial negotiation was carried out by NSIL. Is the emerging wing, commercial wing of ISRO, which goes by name of New Space India Limited. So make sure while noting the current affair, you do not divert too much from attention, even though the main contribution as of now will remain of ISRO only, because this launch vehicle was provided by ISRO Polar Satellite Launch, but commercial negotiation and make this project viable, it goes to the credit of NSIL. So this is a success story which needs to be emulated in near future. It's always a better that two powerful space agencies, which are space power in their own respect, are collaborating for a larger goal, which goes in the name of space quest, so that we can better understand and use this knowledge for better understanding of our universe, which can have socio-economic ramifications in near future as well. Even though at the moment it might appear that it is basically some endeavor milestone vision which may not help common man much, but these missions, when they give the output, they have potential to change the outlook as well as demystify universe for better. So I hope you are able to grasp the basic understanding about Proba-3 missions, which is making headlines today. So if you find any doubt relating to space endeavors, you can ask them in comment section. We will try to revert the genuine questions. So I hope this mission brought some smile as a patriotic Indian or nationalist. So hopefully you have gained from this particular session. So we'll try to be back with another science and tech or environment current affair from film's perspective shortly. So stay tuned on our channel. Thank you very much. Have a